Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot. Now, I don't normally do a bulk intro for my monthlies. I normally just dive straight into my waffle. But if you've been following this channel, then you're well aware that the month of January I've been mainly offline due to technical issues. Let's to put it mildly. My laptop completely, well, not completely, but practically melted down. I've had to rebuild it. So yeah, so I'm finally back up and running now that we've just passed the full moon in Leo. So I missed the new moon. I missed the full moon. I missed the Mars square Uranus and the Mars square, the Great Conjunction activation point, which I have a note about. If you saw my show with David Fisher, the astrologer, when we did the 2020 season finale, we was talking about the astrological associations with the Great Conjunction, obviously. And David asked me if I had anything in my comics astrology, because he knows that's something I like to look into, the charts of fictional characters, because fiction has a huge purpose and force in our life. I mean, look what's happened this month. Fiction is powerful. And I came up with the Neptune of a obscure, or then obscure, Superman villain Dominus, who on the day of the January the it was the 6th, wasn't it? And the invasion of the capital and the Mars square Uranus and the Mars square, the conjunction, grand conjunction point. Dominus, not seen for 22 years, suddenly makes a reappearance in DC Comics in a new universe defining series after they've just rebooted their continuity once again. So I was right. I've no idea what I was right about, but I was right. So if you're watching this for tarot, we'll get to that in a moment. Obviously, the reading is for the sign that's in your title. I will try and get as many of these uploaded as fast as possible and filmed as fast as possible. I advise that you watch your sun sign, your rising sign, and your moon sign. They might not all be there. If you're early in the Zodiac, the others might not be up yet. But if you can only watch one, watch your rising sign. That I feel is if you know it, then that's the most important one to look at. Of course, there is a link in the description below to get yourself a free birth chart from Cafe Astrology or AstroSeek. AstroSeek's my favorite. And if you want to contact me, there's a link down there for the Facebook page for this channel. So it's got an inbox. You can contact me there for a private reading. Obviously, it's a general reading, so don't live your life by it. Listen to the words, see if they work for you, and then have a think about them. Because, as I say, I was offline for all of January, but I also partly got through the guidance, the intuition, because I'm about to use the word twice, the intuition that it's okay, because there's been so much going on in the sky, and let's face it, down on the face of the planet, that I got the feeling that we'd had enough guidance for a while. It was time for us to make our own decisions about things. And that's what I think this full moon has been about it looking at the full moon and the various angels associated with the positions of the planets. Most of them appear to be associated with new moons and full moons coming up later this year. It's almost like that full moon in Leo was defining something about the rest of the year. A lot of the astrologers are saying, and I haven't shared their videos yet on my Facebook page, but I'll get around to it, I hope. A lot of the astrologers are saying that this full moon is the completion of, or even acknowledgement and completion of, healing work that we've already been doing with all the astrology over the past few months. I think that's fair enough, because I got this real sense of new beginning, but it's not a new beginning out of nowhere. It's a new beginning based on getting to that level, like I'll say about the Page of Wands, level 1 complete, level 2 starts here. So I apologise for not doing the new moon and full moon readings. I did loads of work on the full moon to try and work out all the ins and outs of it, and then the computer just still let me down. I'm not sure if I even dare say I plan to live stream, because every time I say that, my computer packs up one way or another, and we are about to head into a Mercury retrograde. In fact, that might be today or tomorrow. Oh no, tell a lie, it's on the 30th. But anyway, that's enough waffle out of me. Like I said, general reading rules apply. Roles can be reversed. Timing's far from absolute. And I've waffled quite long enough. So hit that like button, as Philly D says. Subscribe, because it does help the channel. And sit back and enjoy your reading. All right. Okay, Sagittarius, before I actually bring up the cards, what I'd like you to do is ask a question, as I would normally say in my monthly readings, and I totally forgot in the introduction. So take a moment, think about all of the questions that surround you, focus upon one of them, but be aware that the cards will answer whatever they please to, so be aware of all of them, but focus on one of them. It gives energy to the process, and then hopefully I will return that energy to you in the reading. So pause the video if you wish, and I will then go back to the big camera and the cards. So the first things that I see is the oracle cards. We start with the announcement: the end of a tough cycle approaches, full moon in Capricorn. Immediately followed by the darkness card and the victory card, Nike. I asked which god or goddess has an interest in Sagittarius this month. So victory is a really positive sign. Now, obviously, the end of a tough cycle approaches indicates you've been through a tough cycle. Now's the time to take a chance. Now's the time to pursue a goal that means something dearly to you, something that you've been working towards through your own efforts. You've been working towards this, and it is an ambition that maybe up till this point has been as yet unrealized, but now's the time to go for it. Bottom of the decks: the Wheel, the Hermit, finding your own inner light, working on your own, and the Sun. And we have the Sun here as in the period of time that has just happened, that you are within right now and leaving. Only weirdly, the Sun is the happy, happy, joy, joy card. But what this particular Sun card is giving to me, let me do it so it doesn't reflect off all the light. What this particular Sun card is showing me is almost revelation, like a sunburst, like a coronal mass ejection, but contained of information rather than carcinogenic charged particles. But there's something seems to be in the process of being set right. Efforts that you have put into play possibly quite some time ago, or for quite some time duration wise, are finally beginning to bear fruit. As I say, you've been putting the work in for this. So right at the moment, there is a choice that you are faced with. A really positive choice. Now, this combination of cards, all this month, these three cards have come up in nearly all of the Zodiac monthlies, and it's specifically these three cards: the Lovers from this deck, Ten of Cups from this deck, and the Page of Swords from this deck. And I think even this arrangement of the three of them together has. Not that I remember what reading that was in, so that's no help to you, I suppose. Go and watch your rising and your moon sign as well. But there's a choice that... Now, for once, this Page of Swords makes me feel like you feel ready. So although it would be the Page of Pentacles that I normally say level 1 complete, time to start level 2, This one is almost as if I have all the information I'm going to get, all the information that I need to take the next step. I have this. I'm ready. My uniform is spick and span. My sword has been polished and sharpened. I've passed my pilot exams, because you see she's about to head into a hot air balloon. Pilot is probably, I don't know, do you pilot a hot air balloon? You must do. I mean, you can steer it, you certainly don't drive it. But anyway, whatever hot air balloon people are called, you're one of them. Um, and so there's this sense of readiness of advancement to make a choice, the lover's card, to go towards the happiness. And I believe even having this choice makes you happy. Bear in mind, we've got on the bottom of the first deck the Wheel of Fortune. So things are suddenly turning in your interest, turning in your way with this Justice card here. The outcome that you had been wanting is coming around. Now, this Darkness card, excuse me, this Darkness card is not, oh my God, it's dark. And there's scary things out there. It's more, there is an element of it's darkest before the dawn, and therefore the dawn is about to come here. But it's also the idea of, take the Greek creation myth of Nyx, that the whole universe was created from Nyx, from night. It is the pregnant darkness. It is the darkness where things are not really yet defined. They get defined when they come into the light. It's a creative space. It's a productive space because you've been strong enough to get this far, and you feel like, do I really need to keep using this strength? But I don't mind if I do. You're aware of this happiness coming in, and I feel that you have won some form of I was thinking that's the 5, it's actually the 6 of Wands. But I still feel like there's some form of argument, discussion, battle, legal battle, workplace battle, friendship battle, whatever. You've won a battle. We have strength because you know you've had to do it. And that's the feeling that I get. It's not, oh, look at me, what a strong person. It's more sort of, yeah, I've had to do this. I'm not going to let it faze me because I can do this. There's an element of, it's not quite distaste, and it's not quite apprehension. It's sort of we really have to do this. Okay, I can do this. Do you want to, there's that element of, do you really want to take me to task? So there's not quite a reluctance to have used this strength. If you think about it too hard, you might have been reluctant, but there's a resignation. That's what it's like, okay, we're doing this now then, are we? But it doesn't matter because you won and it ended up in your benefit. You're aware of what the pregnant possibilities for you are. So what this has been designed to do is, this is lovely. Ace of Cups, Queen of Wands, Queen of Pentacles. So work out what your new dream, new love, heart's desire, or heart's desire for February anyway, is because none of this feels be all and end all. It's all part of a process. But if you think about it, Sagittarius, with the Aquarius stellium coming up for you, there's whether you're Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars, whatever, that stellium is forming a sextile, a positive, harmonious angle to the reason that you're watching the planet or the body, which is the reason you're watching this video in the first place. Those are positive energies. and what is it, 6 or 7 planets? Certainly, come the new moon, I expect your new moon reading to be all happy, happy, joy, joy as well, with challenges, but with challenges that have good ends to them. But this is saying that now is, if you nurture that flame that you already know is within you. So there's an element of don't give up now. You've been putting the work in when all's said and done, so don't give up now. Um, it is the time for you to bring into being that which you nurture, that which you have been caring about, and that which actually really lights a fire within you. This, I do feel that there's a solitary process in this, because as you start this commitment, so it's a healing thing for you. So for whatever reason that you've been having to use your strength in that not quite reluctant fashion, then this new action, this new choice of heading forward is a healing experience. It gives you clarity to make more wise judgments, greater discernment. And you can. Now, I love this. So, Knight of Wands is the card that is surging ahead. This one's not surging ahead. She's walking, but she's very Indiana Jones, very Lara Croft. You know, there is secrets to be found with this one, and it. I assume it's a wand or some. Oh no, it's a sword that she's starting to draw out of her scabbard. But I love that little glint of light. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. That little glint of, no, you can't. But there's a glint of light being revealed just as the sword is pulled like that much out of its scabbard, and it's like you are going to be bringing light upon something that helps everything that you've been working towards and learning about slot into place, because other decisions have gone in your favor to give you this chance, which is going to get you up and moving. Yes. And there's that argument that you win. But again, there's that dichotomy, because I looked at that and immediately thought it was the 6 and it's the 5. Whereas I looked at that 6 there and thought it was the 5. There's the two cards seem interchangeable here. So you're winning some form of argument and you are getting to move forward, which is going to be a little bit stressy for you, because I get the impression with Knight of Wands, the Chariot, that things might be, although it's a healing experience, it might end up going a little bit faster than what you was what you was quite intending and what you was quite comfortable with. But that's because you are conquering your whole new area of life. You are having a transformation. You're putting an end to something that is pretty much, it's, when I say putting an end, there's an element of crossing the I's and dotting the T's to something that's already finished, because you won. Luck is shining on you right now. But you are defining your new empire, and you're conquering not through force of arms, but I rather feel through wisdom, through appearing in a realm where even you are prepared to defend what it is that you are doing and meeting up with your peers. And I rather think that although you're prepared to defend what you're doing, you don't have to. Because whatever it is that you're up to, you may be doing it in a new way, a non-traditional way, a way that makes a lot of people sort of do that double take. And go, you're doing this, how? But they are your peers. They are also doing this, but in a different fashion, in a different way, with a different methodology. And your way gives them that double take, but I don't think it's that double take is from criticism. It is from surprise. It is. Because although Seven of Wands being defensive, and you're stood there with the other ones round on the level, you're on the podium there. And although you're ready to go, all right, come at me, you question my methods, you question what I'm doing, and the reaction that you're getting is, hell no, look at you, you go for it. We haven't done it that way. We wouldn't necessarily do it that way, but what you're doing works. What you're doing is superb. What you're doing is artistic. It is skillful. It is from a completely different viewpoint to what they were doing it. Same thing being attempted, same skillful end result, but completely different methodology. And that also enables you to learn stuff from them and their methodologies, which you may already know. It gives you quite a lot of clarity. Oh, look, King of Wands here, King of Wands on the final outcome. And as if you've watched me for any length of time, you know that I like the King of Wands. It's my favourite card. Now, this turned up for somebody else and I didn't like it in that reading. But here, it's almost like this is your chair if you want it. The King of Wands here is saying, okay, you've earned it. You've earned this place here through what you have been accomplished, through the journey that you are going on. We, in that Seven of Wands here, it's not that we want to stand in judgment of your journey, but we really want to watch. We want to see how it goes, because there's that overwhelming, yeah, we think that's a great idea. We've not thought of it. We wouldn't do it. We wouldn't do it that way ourselves. But the way you're doing it, great, go for it. Now, it does send your mind spinning quite a bit, and you are having to make choices of, with this Queen of Swords, it's not so much cutting things or people out, is that there's an element of streamlining, an element of focus, because whatever this new methodology of yours is, which is so different to everybody else's and they like it, then their knowledge is the bit that is helping you go, okay, so this way that I'm doing it, when I do that bit there, I don't actually need to do that because it's going to take care of itself. So it's not so much that you're receiving criticism. It's just there is the odd thing of somebody pointing out, why are you doing that? Because that bit, it's going to sort itself out. It's going to be okay. You don't need to fiddle there, because there's more important fiddling to be doing with the main body of what you're doing. I really hope your question involved some form of project, some form of forward motion, else this is going to be a load of nonsense for you. But I do feel there's something that you've been working towards, but there has been, there's been, you are on your own in what you were trying to achieve, which to a point you still are, because you're on that pedestal in the Seven of Wands, because the peers are standing back, apart from offering the, why are you doing that bit, they're standing back and letting you get on with it, but you have their approval, which wasn't necessarily there before, because there was quite an element of tradition coming in the way, and also I think business from the past was getting in your way, commitments from the past, just some issues that may have, commitments issues is probably a strong word, well, it might be true, but commitments from the past that have just it was hard for you to balance what you wanted to do with what you needed to do in like the 3D physical real life world. But you still managed to put the work in for whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. And there was the way you were slowed down, the burdens that you were facing with that Six of Cups stuff from the past coming through was basically to give you the time and space. That's going to sound weird, I know, considering you were like balancing the priorities of what you needed to do and what you wanted to do. But it was to give you the time and space. I'm speaking more in sort of space-time event physics terms there, to hone your craft, to gain that skill. We've got the Seven of Pentacles here with the Eight of Pentacles. So there's that sense of harvest, a sense of skill, a sense of repetitive work, with a Ten of Wands that shows not just the burdens that was coming in from what you needed to do, that you were juggling in this Two of Pentacles here, but also that parts of those burdens were actually gifts. They were something, I don't want to say wonderful, because with the way that strength card is there, I don't think they felt particularly wonderful, you know. This let's put the strength card back on the top. But they've enabled you to add some form of skillful twist to whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, and more importantly, develop the skill to give it that skillful twist. Like the difference from a flat pack table from MFI or IKEA and some Georgian hand-carved table. You're now in the Georgian hand-carved territory rather than the flat pack MFI, you know, and where's that one missing screw that I need? How come I've finished it and I've still got this block of wood sort of thing? That influence has gone. So you're away from MFI and IKEA and you're going towards, you know, fine artisanal antiques. So there is certainly someone around you is helping give you clarity for what it is that you are wanting to accomplish, and they are able to give you opportunity to accomplish it. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, you're suddenly going to get a backer, although, yeah, it could be a financial backer for a project that you're doing. But I feel more like it's there's an element of giving you the connections to then run with. Opening doors, making the right introductions, maybe not providing the money, but showing you where the money can be got from some funding body or something. Or you want to do this, well, I can introduce you to loads of people who already do this. And again, that's where the defensiveness can come up, because what you want to do, or the manner in which you want to do it, is so very different to how they do it. But there is one really, really clarifying influence around you. Now, I'm saying all about a project because I also have from the Oracle of Heaven and Hell here. If you watched the, oh no, it's that corner, isn't it? If you watched the shuffle video, this one flew out. So the Goetic spirit was at the top. Valafor with representing ambition. But on the bottom, Lelahel with light of understanding. Well, that understanding's been there for a while. Lelahel, again, is a degree angel that has been quite active in new moons and full moons recently, like the back end of last year. I wish I could remember more, right? I so need one of those sort of Star Trek screen things where I just I press a button in the air that says list of angels, Lelahel's history. This is what he or she did. But no, it was quite active, quite busy. I think it was all to do with the Great Conjunction. But anyway, that light of understanding is already there. What is coming with this sunburst is that the final ingredients of that light of understanding, but more the light of opportunity, the highlighting the doorways, highlighting the connections. Now, this promises to be something that could be entirely transformative for you. It will be an abundant, fertile process for you. It may travel and events are fast. Progress appears slow. which indicates a lot of change around you. But it's like, if you've ever seen that, what immediately springs to mind is the film Dark City, at the point of every night where the city would rearrange itself. It's the world is doing that rearranging, and so there's a lot of things that are not stable around you, but it doesn't matter because you're getting on with your own stuff, and some of that instability will end up bringing the right opportunities to you. So you have to be strategic in, ooh, now that's interesting. You have to be you're going to have to be strategic once it's up and running on where precisely you are putting your attention to and what warnings that you are giving credence to because of that instability that is around you, because the city is still redesigning itself, so to speak. But that justice, where was it? Here, is carrying on. It's also, it's almost like the result that you are getting or have recently got blossoms into a far more almost holy, divine, spiritual experience, but it gets more bells and whistles, more trumpets, more showy oomph, not just oomph, but really showy oomph. You that justice is evolving into good just desserts. Now we finally have the Eight of Cups here. Now, I'm not feeling the standard Eight of Cups walking away from your dreams at all from this. What I'm seeing is a sort of an understanding of finally getting, where's the Eighth Cup? That's why I'm getting that. Of finally putting all the pieces in place. So you know what I was saying about those bits where you're advised not just why you're doing that, it's wrong, but the why you're doing that, it will sort itself out. You notice on there that that implies a wonderful sense of understanding, a sense of everything being, oh, there you go, everything being put into its place. However, one cup's missing. It's supposed to be the Eight of Cups. And off that big bathysphere at the back, there's only 7 cups on the shelves now. It's like your understanding as you are going along on this becomes that final ingredient. Because I'm really drawn to the technical stroke astrological stroke, who knows what those diagrams are supposed to represent at the top, but they look cool and scientific. But also esoteric as well. I'm seeing, I think there may be an element of pay attention to the precise details that you need to pay attention to. Again, with that Seven of Swords showing that it's strategic about what details you pay attention to. So again, there's that theme of paying attention when focusing, why are you doing that bit? Because it's going to sort itself out. Why don't you concentrate more on the bit that you know will take the time, or what have you? So that you are drawn to the area where the details are important. That's really bizarre because there's no walking away from your dream with that Eight of Cups there. There's no sense of abandonment. There's not even a sense of, I'll put this here and come back later. There's a sense of getting everything in order so that maybe you no longer have as much to prove. Because if you think with that Seven of Wands, you're going into that quite defensively, even though you're being put on a pedestal in the spotlight where people are actually admiring what you're doing and you're expecting them to be critical. But because of that defensiveness, obviously you feel like you have got a lot to prove. And then here, just get on and do it. There's nothing more to prove now because the doing it is what's important. Let's have a look at the hopes and fears. Because you are, yes, what was I saying about things moving fast? You know right now that you can have a choice whether to be nervous about this or not. That anxiety needs to be kept under control. It needs to be put to one side. It needs to be something that you just leave it. You just leave it alone. Easier said than done, I know. But you've done with that Seven of Pentacles and Eight of Pentacles that was over here. You've done the work. You know your stuff. Admittedly, you're still going to be learning stuff as it goes along, but you know your stuff. So the anxiety about setting out on this path is something that you need to lock away, put to one side, because you need to set on this path, because you're going to be good at it. You're worried that things are changing too fast and that it'll go too fast. Right? Yeah, it will go too fast. But as I say, progress is also slow at the same time. So that you're still waiting for that city to redesign itself around you. And then finally, the Five of Pentacles, a lack of resources, a lack of guidance. There's that fear in that Five of Pentacles that is creating that defensiveness with the Seven of Wands here. Because I rather think the Five of Pentacles in this particular deck, which one is it? It's the Steampunk Tarot by illustrated by Ali Fell, this one. And there's lesser light of guidance shining from the church window as a big fascistic flag indicating an all-encompassing, ever-grinding machine that this, I would assume, sister and brother or mother and child are running from. Now, the very flag makes me think of like Darkseid's Apocalypse, or if you know techno comics, there was a character called the Technophage, who his entire world was a world of consumption, which is saying it nicely. But you are protecting something precious with what you do. And yes, you're concerned that there is a lack of resources for it, but it isn't, because there is someone here who's promising to open doors. When they say that, do you want to explore this connection I can offer you? Explore it. I'm not saying that you necessarily believe that they can do all the wonderful things that they say they can do for you. I am saying give them the chance to do all the wonderful things that they say they can do for you, and make those connections. Because, oh, now this is nice. Final outcome. And the reason I was believing that it was going, I've not even dealt with these oracle cards, have I? We have spark, that spark of inspiration that is what you're fanning here with this Ace of Cups. We have soaring into joy. We're going into good times. And then Schlegiel, Angel of Snow. Now, Schlegiel can dance in the most barren of wastes and make them seem beautiful. And takes joy in being wherever they are. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to be in barren wastes. You fear the barren wastes, but you're not actually going to be in them. But Schlegel's example of taking joy in all the small victories is a really good idea here, because it'll keep boosting your confidence, keep that anxiety at bay, and there's plenty of small victories to be enjoyed. And if this reading is for you, you're already feeling some of that small victory energy, and possibly maybe bigger than small victories. So, final outcome. King of Wands, Four of Pentacles, and the Star. Now, with this Star card, I'm very much seeing elevation, she could almost be a 1930s actress on the stage, or coming out of the silent movies and appearing with that when there was the birth of the celebrity, basically. But I mean, that puts a bad spin on it. But no, there's that recognition, but also a sense of elevation of skill, of knowledge, of wisdom. The King of Wands, as I said, my favourite card. One who knows when and how to act, when to light a fire and when to let one die out, when to take the appropriate actions and accomplish them with mastery, with authority, with competency. And there's a look on this King of Wands face. There's a certain amount of, I have secrets that they will be revealed to you eventually. You will understand this soon. He has knowledge that you do not yet know, but you will know. And then this Four of Pentacles doesn't look at all like acting to defend, although it's implying to me that you are quite capable and probably are defending through your actions, but the defense is a byproduct of your actions. It is not the aim of your actions. And there's also the sense of building the structure using Pentacles as earth and Four as a foundation, or as the four elements working in your interest, as we would see in most world cards. This, if there is some new plan, new goal that you are aiming to accomplish, it's something that means something to you. It's something like, that would be the perfect place for me in the world, even though right now that place does not yet exist. I can, through my actions and the city redesigning itself, I can create that place, which is then the perfect place for me to do my thing, whatever your thing is. That's beautiful. And I have waffled way too long, Sagittarius. So maybe go make a cup of tea before you go and watch your moon and rising. Comment down below if that meant anything to you, and there will be more readings coming out. All right, cheers.